Deuce and Mo. Deuce and Mo. Deuce and Mo. They tell you what they know. Deuce and Mo. Deuce and Mo. Deuce and Mo. The podcast that you know.
Yeah, I hit the wrong one. My bad.
Deuce and Mo. Deuce and Mo. Deuce and Mo. They tell you what they know.
Do it for Deuce and Mo. Deuce and Mo. Hey. Do it for Deuce and Mo. When it comes to the Kings, it's my favorite show. Do it for Deuce and Mo. Deuce and Mo. Hey. Do it for Deuce and Mo. When it comes to the Kings. Big hopes and dreams as we cover our kings. Never cover the kingdom, but we loving our kings. And we covered your prayers as we doing our thing. Big Deuce with the par, Lil Mo on the screen. Solo or together, still do it for team. Never switch up for $1 or revenue stream. So we always got each other, balance out the beam. Deuce and Mo, and that's the end of the theme song. Do it for Deuce and Mo.
We
Deuce and Mo.
live! Happy
Happy
Sunday evening. The sun is still out. Yep, still out. But the beam will be lit tonight.
Wait, isn't it lit right now?
No.
Oh, so they really don't light. Oh my
What
god.
up, Deuce?
I hate
I'm sorry.
myself.
Hey,
No,
Morgan.
please don't.
You think they're just going to light the beam when it's broad daylight? out?
That's why I talked about the electric bill and it was going to be so much
They
money.
just wait till nighttime to turn it on. What's the point in lighting it now if you can't see it?
But when Max and all them light it inside, you're saying that's not the real button? Kidding.
That initiates it for later in the night. You actually have to hit that one for the other one to power on later.
This is
Without
like-
the initial one, the outside one never turns on.
You're basically telling me like the Easter Bunny doesn't exist right now.
I would never say that because the Easter Bunny, in fact, does exist.
And so does the leprechaun.
Yes.
And so does Santa.
Yes.
And if I am I Tooth Fairy.
Tooth Fairy's unclear at this
Oh.
point.
She's a bitch. What are you doing?
I just realized I didn't promote the fact that we're live, so I'm just doing it real fast
Oh
in
my
the pre-show.
God.
Hey, happy Sunday. Appreciate you guys, the basketball sickos. You're a real sicko if you were spending your Sunday afternoon locked into Nets Kings. Two of the worst teams in the NBA go toe-to-toe, and it was Sacramento outlasting Brooklyn tonight, 126 to 122. What?
And the game felt long. Like it just like,
It was 2 hours and 27 minutes. It was long.
oh
Yeah.
God. Yeah. But the Kings win and the beam's lit, almost lit. Almost lit. Not even lit yet, but almost lit.
In the chat, Ella says, Deuce, who's a pick at 8? Or do we trade down? Dude, I'm not don't put that energy out there. I know what you're doing. One, trying to bait me. Yes.
It's working.
Yes, it's kind of working.
Uh-huh.
Two, you're also trying to like, hey, I'm going to expect the worst. And then when they pick like 4 or 5, I'll be happy. Just don't have expectations. The lottery's the lottery.
Stop
Are we
having
doing this
hopes
every time? I don't know
and
what
dreams.
to say. I don't know what to say anymore. We have said it more than anybody. We've talked about the odds. I think I've been talking about lottery odds since December. I've been talking about veteran minutes since December. I know. And we'll talk more about it.
Yeah. But we'll still talk about it.
Hey, what's up, Max? Saying definitely locked in for Nets against Kings.
Oh yeah.
Shout out to Pablo. Shout out to Sean in the building. Scotty is here. What's up, Daniel? Octopus Ears? Interesting name.
Okay.
And Angelo in the chat.
What
What's
up,
up,
Angelo?
Banta? Appreciate all you guys. If you done, hit the thumbs up and subscribe.
Hell yeah.
Got anything else before we start this bad boy?
Well, now that I know the beam isn't even freaking lit right now, it's a little depressing.
I just don't understand, like, logically why you would think when it's daylight that the beam would be on.
I don't know, because like after a Kings win, it just like goes on.
You think at a movie premiere, hey, big movie premiere tonight, they start the spotlights at 3:00 in the afternoon? No, that would make no sense. You wouldn't be able to see them and you'd be just wasting electricity. What's wrong with you?
That's depressing, but all good. It'll be lit. What time does it light up then?
You know, crazy enough, probably after the sun goes down. I don't know. What I mean, 8:30, 8:45, 9 o'clock?
Deuce's Doppler knows.
My goodness. All I know is it's supposed to be turned off by midnight-ish.
Okay.
So.
Well, that's good to know.
Hit the thumbs up, chat.
Well, and I love that you say midnight-ish because I do remember one time, I think it was one of the times that they won this last week, month, or whatever, and you were looking at it and you kept counting down because it was about to be midnight and we were doing the show late or something, and you were like 10, 9, 8, and then 3, 2, 1, and it kept shutting off
ever.
So
no, you're right.
Who knows at this time of day?
Angelo says in the chat, Deuce can't get baited. He's the master baiter. Because I bait people well. You know, Morgan? Okay. One no point says the tank is up in flames.
There was never a tank.
We're just bad. All right, we've had enough fun hanging out. Deuce and Mo, we're out of here. 3, 2, 1, hit my music.
Deuce and Mo. Deuce and Mo. Deuce and Mo. They tell you what they know. Deuce and Mo. Deuce and Mo. Deuce and Mo. The podcast that you know.
Hey, welcome into the Deuce and Mo podcast. Recording this on a Sunday evening. Sun is still out in Sacramento. An early game, a little matinee affair. Bring the whole family out to see Nets Kings. Happy birthday, Slamson.
Happy birthday. 29th birthday.
Is that true?
Yeah. Slamson was born in the 97-98 season.
He looks he's had some good work done.
No, he's a lion. He eats a lot of zebra.
They have lion Botox now?
Again, he eats a lot of protein and has a very healthy diet.
Is doing some peptides or juicing.
Very good.
Juicing? He looks really
creatine.
good for 29.
He's doing whatever Paul George did.
Whatever Deuce Mason's doing right now.
What are you doing?
Looking jacks.
Okay.
Yeah, happy birthday, Slamson.
Happy
The
birthday.
Kings also played a basketball game today. No Russell Westbrook. Of course, the Nets had a whole bunch of players not playing in this one, including one of their best players, Michael Porter Jr. Sacramento, though, got big nights from Maxime Raynaud. Malik Monk, who was back, he dropped 32 points, and Sacramento gets a win over the Nets 126-122. This podcast is always presented by our friends over at Sentivo Vineyards and Winery. I'm Deuce Mason. That's Morgan Reagan.
Why are you laughing?
Because we're all thinking the same thing. We go, they did win, but did we win? They win. The Kings now are 19-53 on the season. Brooklyn has now lost 7 in a row. They are 17-54.
Good for them. Good for them.
You know, this game.
Oh, which way do we go with this game?
Well, this Nets team, I thought some decent moments throughout, even though they were banged up. What are you laughing at now?
It is so funny.
10 games to go now.
It's okay, I'll tell you this. It's definitely down the stretch of games. It's more fun to analyze when the other team's the Charlotte Hornets and you're talking about good players, fun play, a fun team, an identity, other things. Talking about the Brooklyn Nets tonight, I'm with you. I'm totally with you with Zaire Williams. There's
And they don't really care about Zaire Williams.
I know. And that's why truly talking about it is kind of funny. Because even some of their young guys weren't even playing tonight.
The Nets went into the season looking like, hey, we're going to take a swing on Michael Porter Jr. We'll see what it is, or we'll flip him. And they had 5 first-round picks, right? I think most people thought, 5 first-round picks, there's no way they're using all of those picks. Well, they did use all of those picks. And this year has truly been a year of hey, development. They are committed to, they're just going to be bad. And this is what this NBA ecosystem has produced throughout the league, and why the league is going to look at how do we adjust things going forward, blah, blah, blah. But the Nets have just been young. They haven't been very good. They've had some bright spots, but the big picture for them is, hey, in this particular draft, we need to put ourselves in a very good position to get a guy, because we don't have a guy. Even if they like some of their young talent, there's reason to like some of the young talent that they do have on this team. They want to be in a position to get one of the top picks in what many expect to be a deep and loaded NBA draft. They have been committed to that.
Committed.
On the other side, the Sacramento Kings, who went into this season going, hey, we're trying to establish something, be competitive. We don't really believe in like everything we have here, but we just want to set some type of culture. And then a ton of injuries, a bad team. And everyone around the league goes, oh man, Sacramento's tanking. They're tanking. It's like, no, they're actually not tanking. They're just not good. And so the plan for Sacramento was never to be a 19-win team. But once it became clear that, oh, the season's not going too well, here's a 14, 15, 16 games in a row, maybe the pivot comes and you start focusing on kind of the draft positioning thing. Sacramento just hasn't done that at all. And when it comes to the end of the season and we get to May, on Mother's Day in Chicago, when the draft lottery happens on May 10th, we may look back at a win against Brooklyn, a win against Memphis, a win against Dallas, the Jazz, coming back from 20 down to the Pacers, beating the Bulls, Utah. You look at those wins and go,
late in the season.
Oh, those wins, those are going to really hurt if you end up picking 8th or 9th in this draft. We've talked about lottery anxiety so much on this podcast.
So much.
But that is just the reality. It's when you look at the other teams that are in this whole like bottom of the league, Washington's committed to it. Indiana's committed to it. Brooklyn's committed to it. Utah wants to be committed to it. They're just a little ahead of Sacramento right now. And that's where we're at.
You have people texting us saying, thank you very much for beating the Brooklyn Nets. You know, you got Nets fans out there.
I even pre-wrote the J Street dental moment of the game and put in quotes, thank you, Nets.
Yep. Thank you. They say thank you. That's what they said.
Yeah.
And that's what's like, it is so funny coming on these podcasts, going on the post games that we do, and talking about some of the games when like this is so much of the reality.
Yes. And there's definitely good things from Sacramento that we're going to hit on tonight. But it's more just a fascinating look about how some of these other bad teams are just approaching this portion the last like month and a half. Well, in some cases, if you're the Wizards, like from like late January on, you know what I mean? Some teams are approaching it this way. And so it's going to be fascinating on Mother's Day. What turns out to be
because
the right way. I mean, I don't even know if we could say the right way.
You don't know. You don't know. Because this could be the right way. This could. You're shaking the hands.
I'm shaking my head. It's just like, well, I mean, it's a lottery. It's luck. That's what it comes down to. I think the thing I was going to ask you about is, you know, something that Doug Christie's talked about. And I know others have been like, oh, I mean, Doug Christie, why does he want to win these games? Of course, Doug Christie wants to win these games. What? Of course, these players who play want to win games. DeMar DeRozan wants to go do his thing. All these guys want to. They don't care, right? They want to go out there and perform and win. They don't like losing. I understand it from that perspective.
Yeah.
I will ask you this. They would make the case that, hey, winning down the stretch, building a culture, building a foundation, playing the right way, these are all things that help you in the years to come. Do you think after this team started 12-46, where they lost 16 in a row, right? Do you think wins over Memphis, Dallas, Chicago, Indiana, Utah, and Brooklyn, and then you throw in the Clippers, do you think those wins, those 7 wins, help you in the future?
No, and they don't help you in the future. Well, okay, even go back to some of those wins. And it's how are they winning at the end? Well, a lot of the times it ends up being Doug going to DeMar or Russ. There's a game in there that Devin Carter just went off for 30 points or whatever it was after so many DMPs. And so even my question with that one, do they feel like Devin Carter's a big part of the future? And like, is that where that game is going to end up being impactful? I'm going to say probably not.
I think Devin Carter was getting more minutes tonight because Russell Westbrook was out, and then Killian Hayes went out after halftime with a toe injury, and then Nique Clifford went out.
Right. So when I do look back at some of those losses and I see the Devin Carter one, and then I look at all the some of the wins, and I look back and see like DeMar and Russ, like being such a big part of how they're winning at the end of some of these games that they ended up winning. It's not going to impact the future, how some of these young guys play in impactful minutes. And that's where I think we get a little like, that's frustrating.
I think what we've talked about too with this is, hey, if you're winning games and it's like, hey man, it's Nique Clifford's out there dropping 27 and Maxime Raynaud's killing it. And it's your young guys doing it against the other teams. It's one thing, but it does feel different when it's some of your veteran players maybe putting up some big numbers and you're doing it against teams who aren't trying to win games, right? Like Indiana is secretly behind the scenes fist pumping after losing a 20-point lead to Sacramento. You think Sean Marks and the Brooklyn Nets
oh my God,
aren't thrilled tonight? Like they are beyond pumped because they want to be in a good position. They're looking at tonight as, wow, we may have solidified our position in the top 3 in the lottery, like in terms of finishing with the 3rd worst record in the league. So yeah, I don't know. I think you could I definitely think some of these young guys benefit from the experience. I think Maxime Raynaud, as we talked about so much,
minutes.
He's in a really good rhythm. He's getting the minutes, and I think that could be valuable going forward. It's not like, oh, Max is only doing this against shitty teams. Like, no, he's been pretty consistent, making a big-time case, in my opinion, to be on the all-rookie team.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Where at first I thought it was going to be like at least the second team, but now I'm thinking first for sure for him, especially with the impactful minutes that he has had every single night. And that is why, like, I think on a night like this, or on a day game like this, where I was telling you, yeah, it would have been nice, like, if Doug wasn't putting DeMar back in there, but like they were already down so many bodies too. Like, what was he going to do? Put Patrick Baldwin Jr. in that position? Maybe. Maybe you would have seen, and a team that was tanking would have done that.
Yeah.
It would have been like, hey, well, let's see what Patrick Baldwin can do in this late game situation.
And that's kind of the difference is these other teams will pivot toward doing stuff like that, where Sacramento's like, close game, we need a win. Like, let's get Precious back in there. Let's get DeMar back in there. Let's close this shit out.
Yeah.
And they were fortunate enough tonight to be able to close it out. Got a little crazy late, and they won 126 to 122. But that's a big difference. And, I we're going to have this lottery anxiety for a while. That's just until the lottery happens. And you look at where the Kings are at with 10 games to go. To be honest, looking at the schedule, they've got this road trip coming up. They might have 1, maybe 2 wins left in the final 10.
Nets.
And then maybe you win 1 more.
Okay.
I don't even know what that would be. I
know.
You look at the Kings schedule down the stretch here.
Thank you. Because, and that's why I even say, like, maybe Nets. Like,
so they go at Charlotte, at Orlando, at Atlanta,
okay,
at Brooklyn, at Toronto.
Okay.
That's a 5-game road trip.
Okay.
Maybe you beat the Nets.
Maybe.
Okay. But if you're going to they just beat the Nets.
Yeah.
They could beat them again.
Yeah.
All right. And then you come home from New Orleans and the Clippers. Maybe you beat the maybe you beat the Pelicans.
Maybe.
That's where the other one was coming.
Yeah.
Too.
And that's like toward the end of the season. So if Zion's still playing,
you just don't know, right?
Yeah.
And then you go at Golden State and then home for Golden State. Steph could be back then as they try to ramp him up for that play-in game. And then the final game of the year at Portland. Who knows what the hell that looks like? Like Portland is in a play-in position. Who knows?
That's
so. We'll see. It is what it is, and you just have to hope for the best at this point. Jesus. And it goes to what the commenter was saying right before we started this podcast. It's like, hey, who do you want them to pick at 8th? I mean, if that makes you feel better, I'm not even putting that energy out there. I am going to hope for the best. And I'm going to be at the lottery this year because I found out that I'm going to the draft combine in Chicago. What do you know? The lottery is in Chicago too on
Love
the
that.
10th, and then the combine starts on the 11th.
So cool. I am so jealous that you're going to be there. And really cool that you're going to be there and then get to see the draft combine and everything else. And so there's a lot of exciting things no matter where they end up picking in the draft. I just think it's so hard for such a traumatized fan base to feel excited about the 8th pick after such a horrifying year.
No doubt. I mean, if they get, that's like the worst possible scenario.
And it's the worst, and I do air quotes with my fingers. It's the worst when really, I mean, if you have the right talent evaluators and there's luck involved, then you do have and there's always going to be luck involved, whether you have the number one, well, depending on who the number one pick is, right? Because like, obviously if you have Victor Wembanyama, you already know what you're going to do. Cooper Flag, I think, has been able to just even take off and show even more so how NBA ready he really was and what he can do. But I think in this year's draft, like there's so many times where people are like, well, who is going to be the number one pick? And so like, even wherever those top 3 go, like we have confidence in them right now, but you always know over the years, there could be luck at the 7th spot and anywhere else.
AJ's going 1.
I'm convinced.
And then after that, I don't know. I feel like Cam Boozer's going in the top 3. The Darryn Peterson one is going to be the swing. And I think a lot depends on how other teams feel about Caleb Wilson.
Oh, yeah,
right?
yeah.
Because he showed a lot at North Carolina this year before the injury. And then, I think Darius Acuff is starting to get a lot of love around the league. I don't know if it's enough to propel him in the top 3 or anything. I don't think so. But it's also, how do teams feel about Darryn Peterson? Kansas got eliminated, lost at the buzzer to St. John's today. And Darryn Peterson, 5 of 15 shooting. He's able to get to the free throw line. I think he had 19 points. Whatever. We'll talk about that later. But yeah, who knows what it looks like? But there's seemingly a lot of talent even outside the top 3. And you're right. We all have this order right now. It's AJ. It's Cam. It's Darren. It's Caleb. There's no guarantee that those 4 guys are for sure going to be, 4 years from now, the best guys in the draft.
Yeah.
We just don't fucking know.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
I know.
Should we do a little lottery simulation?
Obviously, that's what we should be doing. Have you done this today?
Yeah.
Oh.
And I did get the number 1 pick the first time I did it.
Oh, what a great Sunday. Okay, let's see this one.
Let's go.
Double screen it?
Yeah. I like my Pepto-Bismol ad. Why am I getting that? My stomach feels great. Why is that a suggested ad? Thank you. All right, let's reset. Let's go ahead, reset. Simulation lottery. So Sacramento right now slide at the 4 spot. Boom, 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 boom.
Oh!
This is back-to-back fucking podcast. We got number 1. Does that mean anything?
Yep, means
No, it
everything.
doesn't.
Yes, it does.
If they had 6 back-to-back days of it, dude, it's a lot. What do you guys think? It's tankathon.
Leave it at 1. Don't touch.
Yeah.
Don't touch.
Yep.
I knew I loved everything about where the Kings' direction is at the end of the season.
Do you think it's a cope if I'm like, dude, it's simple. Look at since they shifted the lottery odds, the team with the worst record's not getting the number 1 pick. Is that coping or is that just, no, that's factual?
I mean, it is factual.
And a little bit of coping.
Sure, there's
Okay.
coping's involved in anything as a human, right? Like you always find those angles. But yeah, I'm down for that life. Like whatever. That's what I was saying it on pregame too. Like I've come to terms with where this team is at. Even going into this game against Brooklyn, being like, yeah, like they could get this win. Like Brooklyn's down some players too. And this could be the win that the Kings get. And they got it. And my emotions are still going to be up and down as I navigate how I feel about this season. But I think one of the coolest things too is that when you get to a Sunday game on an afternoon and it's Slamson's birthday, there's a shit ton of kids in there. They want one thing. They want that beam. That's all they want. They don't give a damn about the lottery or anything. They don't. Hey, those little brains, they don't know.
Hey,
They don't know.
I don't know. I was talking to Scott Freshour's son, Luke, who's Cooper Flag's
He's around it.
number 1 fan.
Number 1. He loves Cooper
Big
Flag.
Cooper Flag guy.
Yes.
And no, he's locked in.
Yes.
They're thinking about the lottery too. Everybody is.
But he's like around it all the time. And he's 9 and he's around it all the time. And he's a little hooper too.
You know, I want to look real fast.
Oh God.
Okay.
You're not going to do it again, right?
No, I'm not doing it. So in this scenario, Sacramento jumped to number 1. Brooklyn was 2. We'll take that. Memphis jumps up 4 spots to 3. Indiana at 4. You know, I want Indiana to be at 5 so bad and lose their pick.
Same.
Yeah.
Lose
I want
it.
Washington to fall, and I want Indiana to lose their pick. They don't deserve it.
No.
They do not deserve it.
No. They don't. No. We're such like
you made it to the finals last year. You have Tyrese Halliburton.
Thank you.
You won the lottery.
Thank you.
You won it. Congrats.
Stop being greedy assholes.
Yeah.
Like go away. Go away. No.
Enjoy Zubats and Siakam and Halliburton. Let other teams like Sacramento get something.
Like that's the thing with Sacramento. Sacramento actually deserves it. Like if I had to make a case and like go in there and be like, "Hi, this is why Sacramento deserves the number 1 pick." Like I don't know what I would say right now.
Well, you know, I do read Reddit a lot. I read some NBA Reddit, and there's a lot of people who disagree with that take.
What is their take then?
The take is Sacramento will get a pick. They'll take the wrong person, or they'll draft a person and then they'll trade him 3 years later in a panic move, or they won't be able to develop the player and he'll, fall apart in Sacramento. Okay. Why would you wish that on anybody? Blah, blah, blah.
Okay. I'll say this. I'm not petty like that, but I think they're fair ways to analyze it. A little dramatic, but fair. I think the last one's the scariest to me. Not being able to develop in Sacramento, because you know how important it is, those developmental years, especially that first year, being around a team with culture and identity and a sustainable coaching staff that you plan on having a future with. Like that is so important for some of these high draft picks if you want them, or just any players, if you want players to develop the right way at the next level. And so like that would be my only thing that I hope under Scott Perry, that, this first year goes by and it's like, okay, what's the direction? Like, is there more of a direction? Because there was not going to be an identity built this year. There was no way. There's no way. And it wasn't. There's no identity.
Yeah, I feel like since the All-Star break, they've played a more consistent brand of offensive basketball when it comes to like how they're running shit. Like I feel like the off-ball movement, the ball movement's been better. They've run stuff through Max a lot more.
But this isn't even going to be the squad that's on the floor next year for the majority of time.
I mean, we don't know that. I mean, that's a big assumption.
Okay.
Like DeMar could be back. Russ could be back.
But I'm saying Domas, that takes away from Max's time alone. You just talking about the offense going through Max. I'm like, well,
yeah,
that's Domas.
I guess the counter on that would be, well, Domas was supposed to be a part of our identity. We know we can run stuff through.
Okay.
Him. I'm not saying I want this. I'm just telling you.
No, it's totally fair. I completely understand. And that's fair analysis of where this identity of the offense has been.
With this game tonight, the Kings get the win 126-122. I thought Maxime Raynaud did a really good job of taking advantage of the fact that the Nets were just small. Danny Wolf started at center in this game. Then he left the game with that ankle injury. And
yeah.
He was playing, actually had some nice moments. But I thought Maxime and Precious were like, yeah, we can feast on these guys. Like, I have the size advantage. And it was good to see Max just play big.
Yeah, it was nice. Taking advantage of that, but also executing within that is what you want to see. Like, you want to see this team do well against some of the bad teams in the league, but what is it that they're doing well? Well, it's like individuals like Maxime Raynaud taking advantage of that, doing a great job, obviously, in the paint, whether it was to get the lob, putting himself in the right position. Once again, just cuts with flashes with so much intention of where he wants to be on the floor. No one pushing him out of his spot. And when they do start to push him out of his spot, he's been able to make those adjustments of making the right decision with the pass or whatever.
And I thought it was going into the game interesting to see, all right, how is Max going to play again? Because Russ is not here. And those two have developed a great chemistry. So Russell Westbrook not playing, is Maxime going to be able to do his thing still? And against this, undersized Nets team, he did.
Yeah.
And I thought they did a good job finding him. And your point is, like, early in that first quarter, he flashing right into the paint. DeMar had 2 on him.
Yep.
Max just cutting at the right time and then scoring, like going up strong and finishing.
I love seeing Max play well too, consistently. I know one of the things that, not that we were worried about, but that we had noticed was, okay, what is he going to look like when Russ isn't playing?
Right.
And it just like seeing that in that game, I forget how many games it was ago that Russ didn't play, and then it was like for him to just, like you said, be able to connect with other people on the floor and everything has just been nice.
Yeah, they opened up the game, Nique with a pick and roll, a beautiful pass to Max that opened up the game. And I wrote down that Max had a couple of nice contests on the perimeter. And that, you know, for him defensively, like those are going to be the questions moving forward. Can he be a good rim protector? There are moments tonight. It wasn't great. There was one moment where he didn't do a good job contesting a Danny Wolf three. Like he could have just done a little better. And I'm not saying, hey, man, run Wolf off the line. You know, he's like a 31% 3-point shooter this year. But like, again, these are NBA guys. So like, can you put a hand up?
There you go.
You know, you see the flashes of improvement. And then tonight he did a good job rebounding. He had 10 rebounds, 22 points, 10 rebounds on 10 of 13 shooting in 36 minutes. One of my favorite moments from Zach in that third quarter, Zaire Williams definitely fouled Maxime Raynaud. I saw from my angle, like he got slapped hard. The official didn't see it, so they didn't call it. It said out of bounds, and Max is just pissed, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you see Terrence Mann come over and start saying something. Max turns and goes nose to nose with Terrence Mann. Security comes over and breaks it up. I'm like, ooh. Am I seeing like Max with a little dog in him?
I loved the fire. I loved the moment. Yeah, because I mean, not only just he was right, it was such an obvious foul, but to be able to just like hold your own out there and be a rookie and just like not give a shit. Love seeing those moments. Yeah,
so he ends up with 22 points and 10 rebounds. His last 3 games, Morgan, 28 points, almost 8 rebounds, 2.3 assists, 62% shooting, and 55% from 3. He did not attempt the 3-point shot tonight. He had been 5 for 9 the previous 2 games.
Yeah, and I was okay with it. I mean, I would have liked to see him continue the streak or continue to add that to his game, no matter who they're playing, because I do think it's so important, not only for him, but for the spacing. But the spacing still just looks so good at times with this Kings offense, where it allows someone like Precious Achiuwa to also just have so much movement, start in the corner, cut baseline, be in the dunker spot. So, you know, he's just reading the game how he wanted to read it and where he wanted to be on the floor.
Couple of notes from this game. Killian Hayes and Nique Clifford left the game with an injury. Killian Hayes with the toe injury. He did not play in the second half. So Malik Monk started the second half. Monk had a monster game. And then Nique Clifford tweaked his left ankle. That was like in the first minute of the fourth quarter and left the game.
That sucked.
Yeah, you put you in a really weird spot, especially when you don't have Westbrook. You lose Hayes. Daquan Plowden didn't play either in this game. So who you had tonight, pretty much once Nique left, you had DeMar, Precious, Maxime, Malik, Doug McDermott, Devin Carter, Patrick Baldwin, and Dylan Cardwell.
Yep. Those were your 8. No, I mean, think about one time this team had every guard in the league on their roster to, you know, bodies go down. And it was like, okay, you have a lot of big guys. You have Patrick Baldwin, who played in Stockton last night, but let's bring him up here, see what he can do. Yeah, it was, I didn't know how this one was going to end for the Kings, but I thought they did a good job of just like staying with it through that adversity.
Malik Monk ends up with 32 points. He had 12 points in the first quarter. He ends up knocking down 7 of 13 from downtown, 9 of 9 at the free throw line after missing some action, and he plays 30 minutes in this one. It was just a classic Malik game where he gets on a heater and you're like, okay, he's not gonna miss.
Yeah, and it was fun, especially from the start of the game when you have those 3-pointers made. It's like, not only does it just get the crowd into it, it's fun to see, but then it felt like the Nets were also making some of those threes early on and then throughout. But Malik setting the tone with that and that type of energy is always exciting to have one of those Malik games.
Kings end up hitting 14 of 27 from 3, 52%. Malik had the 7 of 13. Doug McDermott, 3 of 4. Baldwin hit 2 of 2. Nique Clifford, 2 of 2.
Hey.
Patrick Baldwin.
Yes.
9 points for him. He had 6 rebounds. Probably should have had a couple more that were ripped away by the Nets. Plays 16 minutes. He's 7 foot. I'm cool with having him on a 2-way contract, but you do see the limitations, right? Like you're trying to figure out like what position is he in this league? Because he is 7 foot, but they're playing him like on the perimeter, right?
Yeah.
Trying to defend some of these guys. I know it was a little different. The Nets were smaller. They went 5 out in this one, so you had to defend on the perimeter. But that's challenging. He just does not have that lateral quickness. He's not a fast player. He's got good size. He can bring up the ball. He looks like he's shooting the ball from downtown with more confidence.
Yeah, he's an interesting one. Obviously, the night before he was playing in Stockton, we called that game. You see him against G League players, and you still get to see those moments around the rim, like using his size and everything else. And you're like, okay, I like this, shooting, being able to stretch the floor. But even on some of the G players, obviously in the NBA, where you just see him a step slow on the defensive end. And I even think that sometimes with bigger players, like it's just like that first step, he's just not processing it quick, and he's not very athletic, so he's just not quick with his footwork. And those quick moments, especially for how long he's been doing it, it's tough to see, but I love when he's able to still show what he can do out there as well.
Yeah, the Kings defense as a whole was not very good in this game. They rebounded the ball well. They smashed them on the glass by 21, 51. Excuse me, more than that. Sorry, I was looking at the wrong number. It was the final number was 51-25 in favor of Sacramento. The Kings had 28 second chance points in this game.
Damn.
Crazy. But defensively, I mean, the Nets did shoot 52%.
I know.
They knocked down 14 of 34 from downtown. They scored 100 points for the first time in 5 games. The previous 4, they were held under 100. Here's the other stat I had on the Nets that was pretty crazy. On the season, how many times they've scored under 100 points. I'm looking it up right now because I had it earlier. Of course, I clicked the wrong button, Morgan.
Oh, no.
As you know.
As you know. And now the internet's not working. Oh, my God. What is happening here? Oh, no. And now he can't find the set.
Okay. I thought I had it.
Oh, no. He's still gone.
I am panicking.
Don't panic. Is this about the Nets threes?
No.
Oh.
The Nets under 100.
Oh, oh, yeah. That was
okay, here we go. I got it. Shut up, everybody. They've been held under 100 points 21 different times this season. That's a lot in the modern NBA.
It is. But you also see why.
Sure you see why. But my point is the Kings defense, just obviously not very good. And they gave up 122 points to a Nets team that was shorthanded.
And that's what's crazy, even when you do see the rebounding numbers too, that they were able to obviously rebound the basketball like that. It's confusing, but it also just shows how far away this team is on the defensive end.
Yeah, I was disappointed with some of the stuff I saw, even from Nique Clifford, who I think at times has shown the ability to guard. He missed the last game with a hamstring soreness. And at practice yesterday, I noticed he did have some of that tape on that area. He didn't have that tape today. He ends up playing. But I thought defensively today, he just could not stay in front of the ball. Like, he was just a step slow. And I've seen that at times. Maybe he takes a bad angle. But I did wonder, is he just not moving like great at this point?
Because of the hamstring kind of thing. Yeah. No, I was giving him the benefit of the doubt because I noticed that defensively with him. And then obviously then he goes down with that ankle and it's like, oh, shit. Well, everything's not strong on that leg right now. Then that sucks.
Yeah. And I think it was the same thing the other day with Daquan Plowden. We were talking about, man, he wasn't staying in front of the ball against the Sixers, and he had been showing some good signs. Well, he was limping off the court after the Spurs game. And then he plays the next game. And he looks a little beat up. And it's like, because this guy is fighting for his NBA life right now.
Yep.
Right? Like, he's on a 2-way deal. He's 27 years old. He just wants to be out there and play. And the last thing he wants is some injury to ruin any momentum he had. He wants to get all the minutes he can. So then he plays and then doesn't play great. And then, of course, he misses the game today. He was working out before the game. I don't think it's a long-term thing. But, it's a little bit of a setback.
It totally is. I mean, especially at this point of the year, like, with this team right now, with this roster, for anyone that goes down, especially young or just like on a certain grind and trying to work their way and show that they're an NBA player, it's like you are getting the best situation right now. All of these opportunities because so many other bodies are down. So you're getting real NBA experience with other people watching and seeing what you can do, especially knowing that the Kings are not going to be necessarily playing all these same players next year, that where you could look for a different home in the league and everything else. And so, yeah, it's really shitty when you see that happen with some of these guys, but it's also the end of an NBA season. And I feel like some of these guys like Daquan Plowden are playing a lot more basketball than they have on some of the other teams because of opportunities.
Exactly. You're right.
Took me a long time to get there.
I got you.
Long way.
I got you. You know who else was in the building tonight?
Who?
Arkansas head coach John Calipari, actually former New Jersey Nets head coach John Calipari. He was in the building for Kings Nets.
Whoa, why?
Sitting courtside. Why would he be here?
Why would he be here?
Well, Arkansas has their next game in San Jose, but the team is staying in Sacramento.
Love it.
You're going, why would Arkansas be staying in Sacramento if they're playing in San Jose? I don't know this for certain. My theory is the Kings are going on the road, and it allows Arkansas to use an NBA practice facility.
Ooh,
Yeah.
ooh.
I mean, why else would you stay so far away?
Well,
So Darius Acuff
Actually-
maybe getting some shots up in the Kings gym, huh?
you think that, or do you think it would be the Arco practice facility? I think it'd be that one.
No, I think Stockton uses that one.
But
they're hitting the road too. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah.
Either way, maybe you're right. Maybe they're using
Either way.
the Stockton Kings practice facility now is, at the rest in peace former site of Arco Arena. That's where the Sacramento Kings used to practice. They built in like 2000.
So nice.
It's still nice.
Yeah.
And it's 25 years old now, but it's really nice. It's probably the best G League practice facility out there for sure.
For sure. It is.
But Stockton's hitting the road after this too.
Yeah.
Either way, so that's why that's why John Calipari was at the game.
So you're saying Acuff is going to be around?
In Sacramento, huh? Hey, Darius, you want me to show you around a little bit?
Yeah, what do you want to see?
Look, well, we've got the 6th pick potentially.
Maybe even the 8th.
Well, I don't know. Are you going to be there at 8? I don't know. You could be. Some people have you lower. My guy Jack Dan, who's on Twitter, does a great job of like watching basketball. He's first team all nerd.
Oh, love
I
that.
say that with respect.
Oh, I know.
And a little bit of a.
Oh.
He has a Darius Acuff ranked 11th.
Oh, well then the Kings can definitely get it. That's so funny. Ranked 11th. I need to see who he has before him.
I was doing some research today.
Oh, I can't wait for this. On what?
You know me. I'm just locked in.
I know.
this time
I'm
of year.
research on what?
Do you want to know the most wild fact
About
Darius Acuff?
Yes.
Darius Acuff Jr. His dad, Darius Acuff Sr. Breaking news, right? Okay.
That makes sense.
Darius Acuff Sr. I'm just going to bring it up here.
Yep. Just
Okay. Darius Acuff Sr. played college basketball.
Did he?
Yeah. He played for the 1998-1999 Eastern Kentucky squad.
Okay.
The Kentucky Colonels. God,
How about you try that one more time?
The Kentucky Colonels, okay?
There you go.
All right. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Let's look up the 1998-99 Eastern Kentucky basketball team.
Okay.
Who was their head coach?
Who's their head coach?
Scott Perry?
He coached that
he did.
team.
He coached. He was the head coach.
For how
He
long?
coached Darius
Wow.
Acuff's dad for a season.
Oh, what a weird basketball.
That's crazy.
The connections are
Well, 'cause
always
you're
there.
like, I was looking up Darius Acuff Jr. I'm thinking, okay, but would his dad play ball?
Yeah.
Maybe. Boom.
I'm so glad that
Does
you
it
did
mean
it.
anything? Probably not, but it is interesting.
I love that you're a weirdo and you deep dive. Hey, you're a nerd.
I know. Does that mean anything to you?
No, it doesn't mean anything to me because do you know how the basketball world works? Like everyone has coached everyone's mom, dad, son, daughter,
It's pretty crazy.
grandfather. I mean, don't get me wrong. Yes, it is a connection. Like it absolutely is. But I do feel like you can find a connection with almost anyone within the basketball world. Like that's how I'm talking any level.
Okay, so
too.
you're downplaying it now.
No,
you're
I'm not
downplaying my
downplaying it.
research. The
I love
slap
it.
in the face.
No,
to me.
I think this is great. I think it's awesome. I think you did a great job. I'm just saying, like, I bet
That's
you.
not a Windhorst.
No.
Wait, the Kings could be a lottery team. Who could they want? Ooh, they need a point guard. Oh, could they like Darius Acuff? Well, the GM of the team coached his dad in college.
I bet you AJ DeBonce's dad was Scott
You're right.
Perry's neighbor at some point.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like that's, or his grandpa or
All
whatever.
right, I got you. It means nothing.
There we go.
It means something to me.
Well, and I actually think it's really cool, and I'm so yay!
Okay. Oh,
Thank you for that cool little nugget.
we're gonna talk some Darius Acuff, some NBA draft in a bit. Morgan, who would be your butcher and barrel player of this game?
I mean, I guess I'll give it to Malik because we're always giving it to Max. And Max is just, it's exciting at times, like in games
Wow.
like this. And
No
in times
love
like
to
this.
Ben Saroff, who had a career night of 20 points tonight.
No,
the
I'm good.
rookie. Give him some love. 20 points off the bench.
That's very good. And congrats to him.
What about the Stanford product, Zaire Williams?
I mean, in a big old L, so it doesn't really matter for me what those guys did.
You're right.
Oh, nice. Wait, did he only have 30 points? I thought he had 32.
Jebediah had the graphic wrong.
Oh,
Are you kidding me?
Shit.
Malik Monk had 32 points, Jeb.
Shit.
Look, you know what? I get it.
What do you get?
No, because I see his face right now.
Yeah.
He's got a little bit of the LA and
The what?
the LA, the lottery anxiety. He was
Oh.
feeling it at this point, and you rushed it, right? You were thinking other things. You were thinking about the draft. You were on Tankathon. We'll let this one slide.
It's almost like you're talking to yourself when you talk to Jeb.
Okay.
It's so weird.
Anyway,
Are you
Yeah.
winking at
Yeah.
him? Okay.
we got jokes. Anyway,
Thought you
Malik
shit
Monk,
on him.
32 points on 7 of 13 shooting from 3 in 30 minutes. Our Butcher and Barrel player of the game.
Hey, and make sure to go to Butcher and Barrel before any Kings game or just any time of the week. It's such a good place. It's right across the street from Golden One Center. I think we'll be going there too. When we go watch some NCAA basketball, go to Golden One Center. Make sure to go to Butcher and Barrel before. Grab a bite to eat. Head over to Butcher and Barrel.
Yeah, appreciate their support of the podcast.
Give me a hell yeah.
We got more of the podcast coming up.
Oh, do we?
We're presented by our friends at Sentivo Vineyards and Winery.
Oh, the best wine. It's local, the best people. They're all Kings fans. Make sure to go to sentivovineyards.com. You can check out all their wines there. They're obviously so amazing there. Or you can go into their tasting room, which is in Sassoon Valley, which is absolutely stunning, especially with this nice weather. You should go check it out. Go to sentivovineyards.com.
Also presented by our friends over at
Medic
Medic
Ambulance.
Ambulance.
Woo,
Medic, it's so
woo,
great.
Ooh, thank you. We've teamed up with Medic Ambulance, the trusted name in emergency medical services across Northern California. From life-saving responses to being the team behind the scenes at your favorite events, Medic is here to serve. Learn more at medicambulance.net.
Thank you so much for the support. You want some super chats?
Sure.
Shout out to West Sac Kings fan. Been a member for 45 months.
Give me a hell
Thank
yeah.
you.
Good evening, Mo and Deuce and fellow Kings fans. T. Deckler with a couple of donations, including one for $2, saying, my little dude Rico says we need the fog.
Oh, little dude Rico.
It's I don't even know where the fog machine is at this point.
That's fine.
That's my bad. I
Yeah.
have it out.
You'll get on that.
Yeah.
Or Jeb will.
Also saying sports are a cat and mouse game. With pace going up, should we play slower and use more effort on defense, play more ISO through DeMar? I mean, I feel like we've seen them do that. No. We don't go, hey, this league's going faster. We're slowing it down completely. No. And plus,
Won't
like, there's
happen.
so many other aspects that like need to happen, right? It's like, yeah, maybe you play a little more ice. I mean, you wouldn't do this, but hey, if you had more shooting and size and not weaknesses at other positions. And the other problem is just because you slow the pace offensively doesn't mean the other team's going to like slow down.
Yeah.
Like, you have to be able to move on defense. The Kings, they have some inexperience. They lack consistent rim protection, although with Cardwell He helps. And then you play a couple of vets who just can't move like they used to.
Yeah, pretty much.
So no, we're not doing that. Okay, we play fast. Let's go. Pick up the pace. GDM 415 donates $5. Hey, Morgan, my wife and I recently met Katie Christensen. After talking to her briefly, my wife thought she was you, laughing emoji. Do you get that a lot or ever?
That's so
In
funny.
terms of like looking the same?
You know what's so funny? I think sometimes people like, and I mean nothing wrong by this, like casuals will be like, oh, like white woman, deep voice, dark hair.
Yeah.
And they'll be like, they must be the same. It must be the same person. And we're not.
You're like 5'1".
I'm
And she's 6'10".
Yeah.
Wait, is that right?
Height white. She's like a model. I'm like a little short troll.
Okay.
That's
Relax.
that. But no, it is so funny when someone will be like, Katie, and they're like, I'm like Morgan, and they're like, oh wait, and then like, but don't you talk Kings? And then they're confused, and then I have to explain it to them. They're like, it's funny.
In the chat, Giant7727 says, these two so want the Kings to lose so bad. They are closet tankathoners. I mean, I go on tankathon all the time. We say tankathon, it's just lottery odds. We're just playing the lottery game.
Me? Is it they're talking about me?
I think they're talking about us. Yeah.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah, no, I mean, look, I just want the Kings to be in a position for a top pick. And I've also said consistently, Giants 7727, that I hate that this is what the system is in the NBA. We've both been looking forward to seeing how the NBA is going to fix this, because I don't like the fact that fans, and it's not all fans, some fans just go, I want to win games, we'll let it play out. But there's also a portion of fans who are like, no, I want them to lose because I want the best odds in the lottery.
Yeah.
I think it's so ass backwards. I never want to root for my team to lose. It just, and I understand why these people do it. It's just frustrating, right? The name of the game is we all watch our teams and devote so much team time to talking about them with friends, watching them. You guys checking out a Kings podcast after Kings Nets because we want to see them win games.
Yeah.
And we don't want to get upset when they win. But right now, in this system that we're in, you do get kind of upset sometimes. And that's what's so frustrating. It shouldn't be that way.
Yeah, it's like the system has made us like, I don't know, because you're not winning if you're not doing everything right. That's on and off the court. Like, that's like anything in life. A job is never just like, oh, what is your skill? It's, what are you as a teammate? What are you as this? Like, what are you as a company person? All the different things. Like, you have to add in everything. And even with this, it's not just like, oh, you win games and it's good. At the end of the season, because of the system it's in, that's just not the case. And so you have to be realistic about it. But at the end of the day, yeah.
And then what we said a billion times at the end of the day, it is a lottery. And guess what? All the people that are so mad right now, the people who, go on social media and they're, in Discord or they're on Reddit and they're just like so pissed, like, what a joke. What an embarrassment. We're going to pick 8th. Oh my God, who the hell are we going to get? We're going to be bad forever. All those people are getting so worked up and it may not even happen.
Yeah.
And so.
Well, and then he says, don't hate the win, hate the tankathon. And it's like, well, that's exactly what we.
Giants, here's, I'm going to just stop.
Okay.
I shouldn't even acknowledge your chat because it's clear you don't listen to us on a regular basis, or you are here and your listening comprehension skills are like an F-.
Well, he spelled lose wrong.
I understand.
I didn't want to be mean, but
right.
He did.
So, like, I mean,
Sorry.
we've talked about this 100
LOSE.
times. I don't know what to say.
1-0.
Darius Acuff, Morgan, that's been a big topic of conversation because he is on an absolute tear, had a big offensive game against High Point in that win last night. 36 points. That's pretty impressive for him in that game. I was reading my handwriting.
Was it 36?
Yes, he had 36 points last night. The offense is really special, and I know you still have some concerns about his size and the defense.
I hate having the concerns.
No, this is what we do with draft prospects. We're not saying this is what they are, but you can bring up pros and cons.
I know. I absolutely can. And I feel like, especially with Acuff, I've brought up that being a con for so long. But I think mostly because I am triggered by how the Kings have drafted over the last couple of years when it comes to shorties and guards. And it's like, oh man, but this is a whole different Kings team. And breaking news, they actually do need a point guard, So like when I look at the Kings squad and look at everything that they do need, which is pretty much everything, I start to look at what he can do a lot more, and holy shit, it does open your eyes differently, if that makes sense, to how your perspective on his game. He's such a clutch player. He's so talented offensively, whether it's his ability to create for others or for himself, and in big moments, it's been fun to watch.
And then the other side of the ball. And I think some of the pushback is, look, it's not like Calipari is like harping on him to go out there and be a two-way product. It's an offensive-minded team, and he carries their offense. Just worry about the offense.
Yeah.
And in key moments, he'll go out there and he'll try his best to defend. There's still limitations there. So, if you think about drafting someone like Acuff, who is 6'2", but this elite scorer and playmaker, do you feel like he could be a franchise guy? You know what I mean? And and that's the thing, is that's the big question. And it's tough to say you can build around a 6'3", 6'2", 6'3" franchise guy. And everyone wants to bring up Trae Young. I know we talked about this the other day, or John Morant. I'm like, well, those guys, it's just so different. Like John Morant, not a good shooter, kind of thin, right?
Yeah.
Like, and then you bring up Trae Young. He's like, what, 6'1", 6'2", but he's also really slim. Like, yeah, he could shoot it. Acuff he's pretty yoked. He's ripped.
No, and he is. And I think, too, the definition of franchise guy is not apples for apples with every team. And that's why, like, when we talk about for the Kings, like, is he a franchise guy? Well, some of these guys are franchise guys because of the system that they are plugged into and the pieces around them. You come to Sacramento, it's not like you have to grow together. You're not automatically a franchise guy. There might not be until 5 years you become a franchise guy. Like, I think about De'Aaron Fox's evolution and how it did take him 5-6 years to really become like, whoa, he can play on both sides of the ball. It didn't matter what the NBA crowd thought of him. It was like what we saw him as here in Sacramento, and it did take that long.
In the chat, Daniel says Acuff is more Jalen Brunson. Yeah, I mean, in terms of body type, I mean, and Jalen Brunson's such a bucket getter in this league.
God,
and
that'd be
he's not
sick.
and he's not the best defensive player either. You know what I mean? I mean, teams will go at him too. Again, it's a size thing. I think Acuff is capable of being a better defensive player, but that doesn't necessarily take away the limitations just from a size perspective in the league. And so those are just things teams are going to have to weigh. And he's just on a great run right now. This is a really elite season he's having. I don't think people were necessarily talking about him this highly during the preseason.
Yeah.
But the body of work, the consistency, it's been there all year. And when the offense is that special, I think teams are going to have a tough time like ignoring it. It's not like he's been in college 3 years. Like he's 19 years old, and all those qualities that you had mentioned that he possesses, like that can go a long way with a team. So we'll see. I mean, I don't think it's going to be enough to get him in the top 4 in the draft.
Which it felt like for a second it could have been that.
Yeah. I don't know. I think a lot of teams probably like Caleb Wilson because I think teams are going to lean size, the length, the size, versatility. It's where AJ
and I don't blame them, by the way.
You got Cam, and then even Darryn Peterson, who's like a bigger guard.
Yes, his wingspan alone, his ability to play defense and use his wingspan to deflect the ball, get in the passing lane. It's like I mean, I would be doing the same thing if I had a top 5 pick. I'm going length first over shorties. I just am.
Yeah, but what's that mean? I mean, I know what you mean in this case. I guess you're talking about like AJ or something, but like in general, that doesn't matter.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Patrick Baldwin's got length.
Yeah, yes,
you know?
Fair. So I guess for this Sacramento Kings roster, I'm looking at length because I think it will be so much harder for them over the years if they are trying to trade for length, get free agents with length. You know, like it's you have to draft length, in my opinion, for the Sacramento Kings if you want it here. Like, it is that much harder for you to figure it out.
Yeah, I
otherwise.
think you mean you need length
That you're
in
picking.
terms of like a guy, your go-to scorer. You want a guy that has got some size.
And even if he's not the best defender, he has the work ethic or the characteristics that you want in a player that understands the game and that can be put into a system that makes sense to make him a better defender. And I mean, sure, am I in my little dream world? Maybe. And that's why with like Darius Acuff, like if the Kings had traded away De'Aaron Fox and they had everything else set, which, by the way, I guess with some bodies back, you got Hunter, Keegan, Domas, and then you do need that point guard. And it's like, if that was Acuff, I'm not mad about that.
You need some rim protection, though. I think you got to play him with rim protection. You know, and who is that? You know, that would mean a little more Dylan Cardwell. Although, you know, DeAndre Hunter and Keegan can block some shots. But yeah, I mean, if you've got two, you know, if your center can't really protect the rim, that's a tough spot to be in. And then you add a guard who can't defend. It's a pretty two primary positions right there.
Sure
to
is.
have weaknesses that.
Sure is.
Yeah.
Thanks for that.
In the chat, Aaron wants to know what my shirt is. What is your shirt, Deuce?
Oh.
I dig it. This is very random. I feel like no one in the chat will know this.
Really?
And that's okay. This is from the Take Your Shoes Off podcast, Rick Glassman, Tyso. Check it out. He's brilliant.
Brilliant comedian.
Great comedian.
And just
The Goblin, and there's Rick Glassman in that Wolverine.
very creative and talented when it comes to his podcast,
Yep.
the editing, everything.
Anyway, Darryn Peterson.
Yeah. What about him?
Well, Kansas got knocked off tonight.
Sure did.
They lost to St. John's. Rick Pitino's St. John's squad sends Bill Self home. Bill Self, who knows if he'll end up coming back next year? That's a bit of a question mark. Anyway, I don't think anyone really came to hear us talk about college basketball coaching.
No.
St. John's beat them 67-65 in the game. Darryn Peterson finished with 21 points. He was 5 of 15 shooting, 3 of 8 from downtown, 8 of 10 at the free throw line. He also was credited with 4 blocks, 4 rebounds, 3 turnovers, no assists. Watching him in this tournament, he did have some moments. I still look at him, and I don't think we saw the best version of Darryn Peterson this year. If you see some of how he played in high school, it pops so much. Like, oh my God, he's playing at a different level. And the version we saw this year was weird. Like even Kansas's game the other night where you're looking going, can they get him the ball late?
Oh
They're
my
trying
God.
to close this game out. They're losing this monster lead. Find a way to get him the ball. But it was also, Darryn, can you go get the ball?
Yeah.
And even tonight, I didn't see a huge portion of the game because the Kings were playing. But the part I did see before the game tipped off, it's early. Kansas has a 5-second violation. And Darryn Peterson's just standing so far away from the inbounder. I'm like, go get the basketball.
Yeah.
Anyway, all that being said, it was just a weird year, right? Obviously, the health issues, the full body cramps. I feel like the peak for him was that BYU game against AJ, where he was awesome in the first half and then didn't play in the second half. And really, ever since then, there's been the flashes, but we just haven't seen it consistently. And I think more people are left with questions than answers when it comes to Darryn Peterson.
Yes. And I think what sucks, it would be fine if you just had questions about his play, because I think that would make a decision a lot easier. But you have questions about who he is off the court when it comes to even, and when I say that, I'm more saying like his fear for full body cramps again. And is that something that's going to fuck with him mentally? Or his camp and how they dealt with so many of these things and being, what was the word? That being
Not being transparent?
transparent.
Okay.
I was like, cannot think of that word. And not being transparent. You know, like you're like, okay, is this the crew? Is this the crew in the club that's going to be around him? Are they, you know, like in with a team like the Sacramento Kings? Are they going to demand certain things? Like these are all things you have to think about when you're thinking about a player. And there's just so much more to it. And I think with Darryn Peterson, it's complex. But if I were to focus on just all the things that he can do, especially on the basketball floor, and it seems like just even as a leader out there at times, like it's great. Of course you would want that on your team. Now, being able to be more assertive and get the fucking basketball, that thing killed me in a few of these games.
And I think people are starting to overanalyze his post-game interview sometimes too, and just kind of how he's described himself as, I don't know. Would he call himself a loner a little bit? I don't know.
Yeah, it was something like that.
But he's also
hyper-focused.
drawn comparisons to Kobe Bryant and Ray Allen. I don't see the Kobe aspect. I mean, you see it sometimes with the scoring ability, but obviously Kobe's mentality
Different.
was next level.
And that's what made Kobe Kobe.
That's exactly it. But I do think the highs of Darryn Peterson, those are the moments that the teams are looking at like, oh, this guy, we get him right in our building. We have a star because he can score with the best of them. The shooting is so nice.
Oh my God.
You mentioned the length.
His body, he's like NBA ready. Like
There's
he's
there's no way he drops out of top 3, right? Well, I guess I wonder if Caleb Wilson can move into the top 3.
You know what? And you say there's no way, and it's like
Where's the lowest that you think Darryn Peterson would be picked?
4.
Okay.
But my thing is, knowing all the information, like right now, like him and his camp, knowing where his reputation is or whatever, how people view him right now, just crush the draft combine interviews, just crush everything. And it's like, he's back at 2.
Yeah. And he is also, everything you hear about him too is he has an incredible work ethic.
Yes.
The case I'm making, if I'm his camp, is like, no, this guy didn't want to be out talking about everything he was going through. He just wanted to go out there and try his best to perform at a high level. And if he wasn't performing at a high level, he didn't want to hurt his team. He wanted to be out of the game. This is not what he wanted, but did you want to just tap out and not play this year? He wanted to show what he could do, and he tried to overcome the physical and mental hurdles of a season.
Minored in PR, everyone.
No, that's from the heart.
But no, but here's the thing. Everything you said was truthful too.
Yeah.
But like sometimes people don't, like his camp has not been able to be transparent and even communicate that.
But maybe their
times.
thought is like, why be transparent? Like, let the people talk. Who cares? We'll
Sure.
deal with it when we deal with it with the teams. We're going to meet with these teams during the combine.
Some PR crisis,
So,
but
I would just say with Darryn, like, he's so young and what he can do already,
yeah.
in spite of maybe some less than ideal circumstances this year with the injury, it's super impressive.
Yeah.
And so I do get the questions, but I think you're right. We'll get the answers to some of those questions. And then, you if you draft him, you get him in your building, you do everything in your power to make sure he is right.
Yeah.
And then hope for the best.
But
But damn, he's good. And now, the other guy that's getting a lot of questions too now is Cam Boozer. He's not played well the first couple of games. And I
think it's weird to like judge people off like just their few big games.
Yeah, but I'm just telling you, this is how people look at it.
And not
too.
only do they look at it because of that, it's like, well, these players are playing 1 year in college.
Yeah.
And so like you're getting judged, but you should be judged off the entire year. But the reason why you're not, because you also have to look at some of the matchups, especially in the beginning of the year when you're obviously paying colleges to play them, to take them on, to kick their ass, to look good, to make your players look good. It's just a lot.
With Cam Boozer's case, I think one thing that people have noticed is he hasn't been that effective early on. Duke is winning. It's what matters. Patrick Gungba has been a really important piece to that Duke roster. He's been banged up. He came back yesterday, played some, limited minutes. Was that yesterday or the other day?
Who knows?
It's all blurring together at this point.
Yeah.
My point is, when he shared the floor with Cam Boozer, it's been a lot better for him. And what do you know? Cam Boozer needs some size next to him, right? And that Duke team's been kind of banged up. But what I would say is, you also can't just be like, oh, this guy's struggling. You go, wait, what are the circumstances right now? Oh, what is he doing? Well, he is fighting through it. Oh, he's not getting frustrated and giving up. He's still competing, getting to the free throw line, and his team is still winning games. Now, he's got to figure out and deal with some of these weaknesses. But going back to your last point, we're all focused on the NCAA tournament now, and we're acting like this is going to decide their futures. I do think these NBA teams, at least the smart ones, do consider the body of work. They didn't just find out about Cam Boozer his first year at Duke, okay? Like, they've been paying attention, to the high school ranks for a few years, right? You're doing your intel for a long time.
It's that, but also understanding too, like for some of these evaluators, what you already have on your roster and how it could elevate this person's game, or how you just talked about him being paired up with another big and how it did elevate his game. Okay, well, there's bigger players in the NBA and maybe there's a roster with some bigger pieces, and it's like, ooh, this could actually shine a light on this for him, or he could stretch the floor more, or he could do this. And so, they look at everything into what can work within their roster, their organization. And obviously if it's just a generational player, they're like, you take it.
I look at someone like Cam Boozer, and I'm not sitting here talking about generational talent, okay?
Yeah, no.
But what I see out of him is a guy that does so many great things on a basketball floor at his age, works hard. We talked about him as like an elite processor, the passing, the size, the rebounding. He does so many good things out there, and then his ability to score the basketball. He could stretch the floor. I look at him and go, he's going to be a good player in this league. I don't think it's crazy to be like, oh, I could see him being like a 2-time All-Star, and outside of not being an All-Star, just be on winning teams, being a winning player. He's that type of player to me. I understand some of the questions about him defensively, but I think if you put him in the proper system around the right talent, he's not going to get like destroyed. Like, he can move a little bit. He's got some size. Is he a rim protector? No, but he's a big dude. He's pretty strong. And if you have the right team around him, you're not going to be talking about that, because he's going to be able to do so many other great things on the floor.
100%. And that's what, I mean, again, there's so many layers to how you go about evaluating guys for your organization, for what fits for your roster and for the future of your roster.
I feel like I can talk. I'm in like a draft mode right
you
now,
expanded. You expanded on Cam, and I was like, "There's nothing more I need to say about his game," because you.
But do you
said
agree
it
with
all.
my assessment that, like,
Yes, everything.
Could you see him being like a Hall of Famer?
No, in everything, I agreed with your assessment. Everything, but like, I hate even putting like the All-Star shit on people.
I'm
like,
just having fun.
You just asked me, and I was just saying that's the one thing. That's the one, because I agree. I know you're just having fun, but like for me, I always just go a winning player. Like, I think that is the best way to describe, like, a winning player. Absolutely. That's what he is to me. That doesn't, to me, I think sometimes how we look at all-stars around the league and stuff is just like unfair and weird.
Caleb Wilson's another guy we're going to spend some time talking about at some point, but yeah.
But that's for the next Kings win.
Stop it. When's that coming? The Kings hit the road now. We mentioned the road trip with Charlotte.
Atlanta.
Yeah. Who else? Keep going.
Brooklyn.
Brooklyn. Yes.
And
Don't you forgot about Orlando. It goes Kings,
Raptors.
It goes Hornets, Magic, Hawks, Nets, and Raptors on this 5-game road trip starting Tuesday. We do have our final back-to-back of the season. The Kings and Hawks play on Saturday, and then Sunday it's Kings Nets, second night of a back-to-back.
God, no more back-to-backs, please.
Yeah, 10 games to go. Expectations? These are some good teams you're playing in the East, right?
You want me to give expectations for this road trip?
Okay.
Come on. I'm excited to see the Hornets.
Okay.
If that's what you're, yeah, I mean.
What about Jonathan Kuminga and the Hawks, the Red Hot Hawks?
But I am excited to see the Hornets. But no, it's like, and I don't mean to like crush that too when you say that. What's Nique? Is Nique going to be okay? We don't know.
Killian Hayes?
Killian Hayes? No idea.
Westbrook, going to need to play 40 minutes.
Probably going to, and he will love it. Every goddamn minute of it.
Okay. Rewind. How many wins do you think they'll get on this road trip?
Ooh, a prediction. 6-game road trip.
My goodness.
5.
It's 5. I've said it 7 times.
Watch it. I'm gonna say 1
Against Brooklyn.
Yep.
Okay.
And by the way, like, I'm sure they could figure out another one if DeMar and Russ are playing 40 minutes.
I feel like that one happened. It was the Clippers game. They had that one where just they were clicking. Kawhi goes down.
You have the same prediction then?
Yeah, I think they get 1.
Yeah.
And that might be their final one of the season against the Nets.
Oh, God.
They're right now sitting at 19-53.
So they'll finish with 20 or 21 wins on the season.
Yeah.
What a
and
wild ride.
Could be picking 1 to like 8 if that was the worst case. But.
Saddest thing that you and I talked about today is that the final game of the season, you and I are on NBC.
Yeah.
And it's a road game against Portland. So it starts at 7 effing o'clock.
You know what? No, it starts at 5:30. That's good news.
All right. That's better news. Yeah. Okay.
So we'll be live at like 10:30, like probably around the same time.
That's not bad. Okay.
Yeah.
Never mind. She's better.
Yeah.
Oh, Carlin just brought in a toy.
Well, come here, Carlin. Let's show Carlin with his toy, please. Come here, buddy. People love Carlin. People demand Carlin. Do you want it? No? Okay.
No, he's
you want kisses? Excuse me.
Do you want to talk about Darryn Peterson?
He's an Acuff guy, I could tell.
Do you want to talk about the Kings road trip? What are your expectations? Same, bro.
Yeah, same. All right. Yeah. So the final game of the season will be up late that night anyway. We have to reminisce. I'm putting on, just so you know, I'm planning a really high production value final podcast of the season.
The fuck does that mean?
I haven't talked to you about this yet, but we have some ideas. It can't. You think it could be this? Where like, all right, let's talk about the Kings beating the Blazers.
What are your expectations going into next week?
Who do you think's gonna be? I mean, you'll hit on some of the stuff, but then we're gonna reflect.
Dude, I'm so excited to start talking playoffs.
Maybe we'll share a beverage.
Okay. A little Sentivo vine.
Yeah.
Love it.
That might be fun.
Hey, could be a good time.
All right. Well, final thoughts from this one. I'm happy to see Maxime Raynaud continue to show signs of being a really good offensive player and show a little mean streak. I like that tonight. And I'm hoping for the best when it comes to Nique and Killian. I just hate that one player, a rookie, who needs all the time he can get, is banged up at the end of the season when he could be playing some valuable minutes and building confidence and working on his game. And then someone like Killian Hayes, like, I know they signed him to a 2-year deal, okay? But it's not guaranteed for next year, as we know. These games down the stretch, like, matter for evaluation.
Absolutely.
Not only for, like, Sacramento, but, like, other teams. And it would be a shame if it's like, hey, dude, he's out 2 weeks. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So those are my final thoughts.
Well, I hope that's not the case. And I'm with you on the Max situation. Fun. It's been a highlight of the season. Unexpected. Keep it rolling.
We love you guys so much, but we gots to go.
You all have a wonderful rest of your night. See ya.
Deuce and Mo, Deuce and Mo, Deuce and Mo. They tell you what